Good morning, adventurers. My name is Ben, and welcome to a morning show where I sit around, drink some tea, and talk about D&D. So first up for T&D today, I have my help. It's again all black mug. Honestly, no good reason. It was just the first one I could grab when I went to the cabinet. I just got off of work. It's been a very long day, and so I went with this one. Yeah, that's it. Inside of it, I have this unplug tea from Econ Tea. Econ, I think last time I had it on here, I couldn't remember what it was called. Econ or Econ, I guess. E-K-O-N, however you would pronounce that. I remember, actually, when I got it, it was billed as, like, tea for men for some reason, because everything has to be for men for them to do it. So I got some because I was like, I want to see what this is. And it's good. It really is. It tastes like other teas. I mean, not in the sense that, like, it tastes exactly the same as different tea I have, but, like, it tastes like tea is kind of what it is. So, honestly, I would recommend it because it's good, but not because it is for men or anything like that, specifically. Anyway, getting into what we were talking about today, I had a request from one of you lovely people in the world who wanted me to talk about. They wanted me to talk about one of the things that I'm going to be talking about today, but I'm talking about three upcoming Kickstarter projects that I am upcoming third-party supplements that I am very excited about, that I have backed on Kickstarter, and they have since closed and started fulfillment and all that stuff. But I don't have the books yet, so I can't do anything. When I get the books, I will be doing full episodes on them for sure, but I don't have them yet, so I can't do that. So, we're going to be talking about three different supplements very quickly, sort of glazing over them, because I don't have the ability to dive in on them. I have PDFs for two of them, however, I do not know how it's going to work in terms of, like, legal, logistical stuff for me to, like, put pages of it on the screen here, so I'm not going to be doing that. Sorry, it's still in pre-production, so I feel like that's probably not the most legal thing in the world, so I do apologize for that, but I'm going to be talking about what's in each of them. So, without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we have the one that I was actually specifically requested to talk about. We have the cover here, at least, Valda's Spire of Secrets. This book is so cool. It really, really is. This is one of the first books that I have gotten even just a PDF copy of that has alternate classes in it that I think are actually really cool. So this book is full of stuff, right? It is chock full of stuff. It's essentially a player's handbook kind of thing with all kinds of additional bits to it. It is essentially another player's handbook. It is an auxiliary player's handbook. It starts out strong with having five, I was going to say seven, five, it is five, different races built into it already, just out the gate, followed by having 10 brand new classes, 10 all brand new classes, each of which comes with between 5 and 10, depending on the class. I'm shooting high and low on that one. It's usually more around like 6 or 7 different subclasses in each one of those classes, which means that you are getting approximately 50 to 75 different subclasses out of this book of, like, brand new content, brand new material. I have read through all of them at this point because I've had this PDF for a little while now, and they are phenomenal. They are really cool. They do suffer, I will say, from the sort of typical third-partiness of stuff, the home-brewy kind of feel that happens every once in a while, because some of them have really weird power scalings, or they're, like, uber powerful in one area and so bad at other things, but they are pretty cool. Those classes are, the additional written classes are the Alchemist, the Captain, the Craftsman, the Gunslinger, the Investigator, the Martyr, the Necromancer, the Warden, the War Mage, and the Witch. They are all very cool, and they actually do all feel different. I was concerned that either the alchemist or the craftsman would feel a lot like the artificer, who in their own right is a craftsman with a subclass called the alchemist. But they do all feel different. In fact, the closest one, the one that feels like the closest to something else, to me at least, is the martyr. Feels kind of like a paladin, but also they are your Hot Topic brand paladin almost. Like they are reskinned to be more like, I don't know, performatively emo or performatively scene, I guess. I don't know, scene, SCENE. And it's still pretty cool. Their top class feature is essentially them getting to die in glory, or fulfilling whatever destiny they had, which is actually pretty cool, honestly, all things considered. So you get 10 brand new classes out of it. In addition to that, you get subclasses for the existing classes, less artificer. So you get another 12 classes worth of subclasses in there, and each one of those has, I believe it is between 4 and 7 subclasses in them, which is, again, a bunch more stuff. And each of them has at least 2 that are serious and at least 2 that are funny. They lean into jokes on some of those subclasses. Their core classes that they're presenting don't really have joke subclasses. These come with joke subclasses, which I both appreciate and am confused by, because it feels like an interesting thing to include in a book that is otherwise almost entirely serious. And by serious, I mean like real viable game material. Not that these are not viable game material, because they actually did a decent job balancing them. One of the barbarians is, I'm pretty sure, called Muscle Wizard or something like that. It's the meme of like Muscle Wizard cast punch or something like, or cast fists. It's that meme just blown out into a full barbarian subclass, which is actually not terrible. It's pretty cool. It's pretty funny. And so that is just fun in its own right. In addition to that, you get multi-classing rules for all of those different classes that they have added. The full list of things that you get for it, the things you need for it, everything that you would expect to find associated with new classes that are being put out. There is also an extensive section on weapons and armor, like expanded weapons and armor. There are exotic weapons and armor. There are fantastical. They're separated out by historical period as well, depending on what it is, which is actually pretty cool. And they have a set of magic items in there as well that take up 20 or so pages of the book. It's a 375 page book, so there's a lot of room in there, but so much of that is taken up by classes and subclasses that getting 20 pages of magic items is actually pretty cool. In addition to that, there are another 45 to 50 pages of spells in here. Again, really awesome, really cool. I love getting new spells. I love getting to see people's takes on spells. I have not done as much like hard digging into these to see how they are balanced and where they're leveled out at. I have thoughts usually on how people level their spells, but for the most part, they have seemed pretty appropriate for power level in each one of them, which is actually pretty cool and good. Honestly, I feel like people just go, yeah, there'll be a 4th level spell sometimes, and it is just tossed by the wayside. Then, following that, they have a bunch of appendices as well. There are 4 different appendices. There are variant rules, just house rules, home rules, that things you can add in there to, spice up your game a little bit, that they recommend. They thought it was important enough to include in their book. There is a section on familiars, more familiar options more specifically. There is a full section on monstrous grafts, so grafting different pieces of monster to your body and the rules that would apply with that. And there is a full section on siege ball, which is a sport that they have in this book world that they've got going here. So all in all, a super, super cool book, something that I highly recommend you check out and see if it's for you. Obviously, the book has not shipped yet, otherwise I would be holding it, showing you guys right now, but I can't do that. It is phenomenal. It is by Mage Hand Press. I did not say that at the beginning of that. Definitely recommend checking that out. They have some other cool stuff as well, so definitely go check out their store, because honestly, good work, all things considered, really. Next up, we have a company that I have talked about a few different times on the show. I love them. I love the work that they do. I'm so excited to get this one in the mail finally at some point here, whenever they get it set up. We have the Grim Hollow Monster Grimoire. This book is going to be so cool. So cool. I'm so excited for it. I love the Grim Hollow stuff. I think it is phenomenal. It really does sort of play into the style that I like to lean into when I am running games. And having a Monster Grimoire is just going to be amazing. Amazing. I'm so excited about it. I cannot wait to get this one. I have read through this thing pretty extensively at this point, and they have some really phenomenally cool things that are contained within these pages. One of my favorite things that that is featured sort of in this book is the fact that every single monster comes with a salvage section to their stat block. They have a specific section where you can track the things that they are going to be able to pull, they being the party, are going to be able to pull off of these monsters. Which means that if your party is one of those parties that's like, hey, I want to skin this thing and bring it back with me, you can be like, okay, well, here's what you can actually get on different DC checks. There are also lore DC dumps in there. So this monster that I'm looking at right here is called the Blight Scale Dragon. Again, dragons, love dragons. And a DC 15 history check, a DC 15 medicine check, and a DC 20 arcana check. You get different things for that monster to learn about that monster, which is just really cool. And if they blow it out of the water past that, then maybe you dump a little bit more in there. Maybe you add some of the other stuff in there. It's just really cool. One of the things about this being a monster book is the fact that there isn't actually all that much that I can talk about other than rough general things or giving specific examples. But like I said, I'm not going to be putting specific examples up here. I just happened to be looking at the Blight Scale Dragon there, and so I wanted to give you guys that specific example without, showing you the whole stat block. As far as I can tell, a lot of this stuff is actually really well balanced for its CR, which I talked about yesterday. CR is not a real thing in D&D. Balance is fake. Learn how to balance stuff because it's also the most important thing you can do. But from what I can tell, most of this stuff is actually really well balanced out at its appropriate level, which is fantastic and really good. It does also give you stuff all the way from the bottom of the barrel, sort of 0 to 1/8 creatures, all the way up to the top in the 20s for challenge rating. Which again, isn't an accurate scale, but is a pretty decent way to kind of gauge about how hard something is going to be. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. As I have said several times, I don't believe in CR that much. That is everything I have on that one. That is number 2. And number 3 is less a single product and more a pair of products from the same publisher that I have loved their stuff. They are so good. Kobold Press has kickstarted and is releasing the Tome of Heroes and the Tome of Beasts 3. Based on those names, I hope you can figure out kind of what you're getting out of it, but it is essentially a player book and then a third monster book. I guess 4th-ish, technically, but a third Tome of Beasts, which is so good. I love those books so much. I love getting player expansions as well. Kobold Press has always done really phenomenal work. I don't have PDFs. I don't have pictures. I don't have anything to show you guys for those, but they are going to be amazing. I know it. I'm so excited for it. Their stuff has pretty much infallibly been some of the highest quality third-party content I've gotten. They are kind of the step next to Wizards of the Coast in terms of it being practically official. Honestly, same thing kind of goes for Grim Hollow, for me at least at this point. Their stuff is just like darker, grittier, that kind of thing. But Tome of Beasts 3, Tome of Heroes, I'm so excited for. And here's a little bonus shout out for you. There is literally almost no information on this one yet because they haven't even done a Kickstarter yet. But keep your eyes peeled. It's coming this month. The Griffin Saddlebag 2. hold for applause, The Griffin's Saddlebag 2. I don't know that I have been more excited for a third-party book than The Griffin's Saddlebag 2. Kickstarter is coming this month. It is coming in March. Mark your calendars for it. I don't remember the exact day. I think it's back half, third quarter-ish of the month. I am so excited. It was the first third-party Thursday I ever did because it is my favorite third-party book. I guess that the only other third-party book I've been more excited about has been the Teldora Campaign Guide Reborn, because I didn't realize when I got the original one how big that was for me. But outside of Critical Role merch, Griffin Saddlebag is always the top of my list. When I first got into D&D, I followed that Instagram account, and I have been following it ever since. I am so excited about it. I cannot emphasize enough. It's going to have over 500 items, a new subclass for every single class. Check it out. Check it out. They posted a trailer for it. It's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited. The deluxe cover looks so cool. And there's nothing more I can say about it because I have literally no information. But definitely check it out. So, to recap, bring it all together. We've got Vault Spire of Secrets. We've got Grim Hollow's Monster Grimoire. We've got a pair from Kobold Press in the Tome of Heroes and the Tome of Beasts 3, a pair of tomes. And we have a special honorable mention shout out to the Griffin Saddlebag Volume 2. I said 3 at the beginning. You got 5 total out of me. Good for you. I don't know, man. Definitely check out any of these books. They are all fantastic. They are all phenomenal. I think that they are all worth checking out, or going to be worth checking out when they actually do officially drop. That is everything I have to talk to you guys about there. Let's move on to shows that we have happening today. It is Thursday, which means that we have, of course, Critical Role. We also have Authors and Dragons, NADPOD, and LGBT D&D. Highly recommend checking out any of those shows. Both NADPOD and Critical Role are very early in their seasons. Critical Role less so than NADPOD at this point. I think it's episode 16 this week, whereas NADPOD I think is episode 5 maybe. So what I'm saying with that is they are both in good places to get in on the ground floor for the new season. Highly recommend checking out those shows. Let them know that I sent you. Check out any of the other shows I ever talk about on this show here, because it's really great to show the support in the TTRPG community. And I only ever talk about D&D shows. Go check out some other TTRPG shows. Honestly, why not? They're all really cool. But that is everything I have to talk to you guys about. Thank you so much for making me part of your morning routine. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much in particular to my patrons. You guys are the ones that make this show possible. I punched the microphone. If you're interested in becoming a patron, there's a link to my Patreon in the description of this episode. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's it. So, don't forget everybody, drink tea, play D&D, and keep on rolling.